That's it, boys. Lifelong dream. Done. Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh play day, where I just kind of go through some changes I made to some action figures, or some stuff I bought or found online to spruce up action figures. Pretty much playing with action figures. Because people out there are doing fantastic things with sculpting, whether it be 3D or just in clay, some painting, making kits to change up your action figures, cloth goods, you name it. There's somebody out there kicking ass at it. And it's even better when someone like me, who is less talented or has gotten old and can't even see the small little details in eyeballs and such, when I can reach out and buy stuff from them. Or they just show up in my P.O. box. It's craziness. Bottom line though, when Robo gets to play, he's a happy boy. First off, there is whatever the hell these things are. These were sent to me by my buddy Dan, Yokai Customs on Instagram, and I guess I've become the food toy guy. This is Captain Corndog and Baron Von Broccoli, and they're just little rubber... Oh, they're bendy. They actually do pose. Oh my god. Am I going to have to use these at some point? Why does he have a leg? And then the stick is the other leg. He's got a boot? That's just weird. What about the broccoli? Yeah, he's bendy arm too. And bendy leg. Little known fact about Robo, he loves his broccoli. So... This is actually kind of cool. And I haven't seen these top packages since, Hastings went out of business? And that's been several years ago. I don't have a local comic shop or specialty store, so yeah. You stinky side dish. Beneath that fried batter, you're nothing but a flimsy tube of meat. Aren't we all? He also sent this along. This is the 3 3/4 inch Wampa head. It means it's smaller than Pete's head. And in his note, he says, I found a Wampa head from the 3.75 inch line I thought you may be able to use for something funny. But then I went to his Instagram and I found this custom. And it uses the 3.75 inch Wampa body. Just found it, huh? Again, go check out his Instagram for some awesome Star Wars customs. And when I first pulled this out of the package, I thought, 3 3/4 inch, what do I need that for? But I do now have an idea that may work for a Christmas top thing. Next up, I picked up the Jax Pacific Apex Legends Bloodhound. When they first announced them, I thought, oh, I may have to pick up a couple of those. When I saw them in the store, I thought, nope, I'm just picking up this one because I do have a use for this, but that's it. The other two didn't seem as interesting. And it's a valiant effort, and I'm glad I picked it up just to see what was going on, because I would have just wondered forever if I didn't give one a try. But getting it in hand, there are some things that are, why? Not a lot of head movement, not a lot of waist movement, but there's a lot of sculpt there getting in the way, so I can understand that. The legs look like they have some movement to them, but they traffic coned it with this bottom coat piece, so you're just left with that's it. The knees aren't bad, but there's not a lot of hinge to the ankle, and absolutely no rocker. In this day and age, it doesn't matter how much articulation you put in the whole figure. If it can't stand flat-footed on a solid base, it's useless. Also, the elbows, it's like they thought ahead and did a little cutout so it would bend further, but then they took the whole joint piece and made it too wide so it gets in the way of itself. The sculpted parts don't even hit that groove. But I do like the overall look, because I'm going to use this in my Star Wars display. He can hang out as one of the Infus Nest gang guys or something. May need some washes for some dust, some dirt, some grunginess, which is another thing about the figure. The colors and paints are nice. It just looks clean. And I'm also okay with the weapon looking Star Warsy too. Basically, pay the full price now if you are a super fan of Apex Legends, or you really like extra stuff in your Star Wars display. Otherwise, I figure these are going on clearance at some point. So just wait till then if you're just half-ass interested in it. I got the Target exclusive Thunderbird and Storm 2-pack. I didn't review it because I was so excited that I just ripped right into it and started changing the things that I found kind of odd with Thunderbird. First up, he came with grip hands for absolutely no reason. Nothing to grip. He didn't have the knives like his brother did, so I had to find some fists, which I think these came from Iron Fist, at least one of the versions. They may be slightly small, but I feel like the bracers kind of help with the transition between arm and hand. But doing that, the skin tones between the hand and the arm didn't match, so I had to break out the paints. I did the arms, and I did the face, and I actually added a little neck, which is more comic accurate. Out of the package, it was blue all the way up, and while it looked okay, I feel like this just gives it a little bit more oomph. I also thought about painting all the reds, and I may still do that because the paints don't match from here, or at least the reds don't match from the chest to the abs. But at the same time, I'm not trying to make the perfect Warpath, so that helps it kind of blend in with other Marvel Legends, or am I just making excuses because I don't want to paint all those straight lines? But the big thing here is dropping the head just a bit. Out of the package, it sat this high, and it makes the head look like it's not meant for this body, which it's kind of not. But just dremeling it out a bit and being able to drop it down, it feels a little bit more natural. It's just a little thing, but hey, I'm happy. I've been waiting years and years and years and years for Thunderbird. I want that giant-sized X-Men team, and we almost have it now. I always love when somebody sends me a Mandalorian cape because it's just more options and more excuses for me to buy more Mandalorians. But Mudhorn Customs on Instagram sent me another Mandalorian cape for the Beskar armor, and it's got some wire running through it. But the biggie for me, it looks tattered on the end, but it also has like some dust or something through there. Just enough dirtiness to make you think, oh, there's that grunginess that he was kind of missing with that Beskar armor. He also sent along a cape that doesn't have any wire in it, so it drapes naturally, and whatever material he used here is so much better than we see from a lot of the big companies. It's heavy enough to just fall, to lay. And again, it has some tatter on the end, has a little dirtiness there. And this is my play Mandalorian. This is the one that I always swap parts and pieces out, that I do all my experimenting on. Oh, yeah. There's the rain. Mudhorn Customs suggested that this is the cape to use if you want a jetpack on your Beskar. But even with the wired cape on there, I can put the jetpack in, and it still drapes okay. I mean, it still looks like there's a backpack under there. It's a backpack under there. But it definitely doesn't look bad. You can take the cape and just go wherever you want with it. I also recently got the GameStop exclusive Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Darth Nihilus. I have no attachment to Darth Nihilus. I didn't play that game, so I could only look at it purely from an action figure standpoint, and the reuse of the Darth Maul body, that didn't work for me. One, he was as short as the Darth Maul, and two, those original Darth Maul legs, they didn't go together. He was constantly spread out. The hips loosen up. You try to stand it up, it just kind of... So I took them out of Darth Nihilus. Because again, I'm not too attached to Darth Nihilus, so I don't care if the legs were accurate or not. When you use the Kylo Ren legs, they're still black. They still have high boots. Still works. But I get to keep these tattered robes hanging and this tunic up here and the new arms they did give to this figure. It adds some height. It adds much more articulation, better neutral stances, just better overall, I feel like. What I ended up doing was popping the Kylo Ren at the torso joint, which brought the whole leg assembly out. But you can see I screwed the whole Darth Nihilus lower body up trying to get those out. I ended up having to cut the peg even. So I had to Dremel a bit to get the Kylo Ren peg to fit into the Darth Nihilus torso. It's not sealed, you know what I mean? But it's tight enough to hold together as I mess with it and play with it. It's not just falling off. Just a much more imposing figure now. And it stands. I think the next thing I'll do is replace the cape because the head just pops off. And it's kind of cool because while you can see through this hood part, it doesn't really matter because everything's black. Then the cape's separate, swap that out. That'll probably be another playday. Jumping into some of my Marvel Legends Deadpool tweaks, Steven Hansen posted this one on my Facebook wall, and I had to do it. Hasbro gave Negasonic Teenage Warhead a unique head, unique arms, unique upper torso, got the belt on there, but then when they got from the hips down, it was just generic legs. And in the movie, she has some leather boots. They're not this design, but this adds a lot to this figure. I think these boots also came on an X-23, but I took them off my Nico figure, and they add no height whatsoever. Same size, same proportions, doesn't affect anything body-wise. It just adds some extra detail to a movie-type figure. I swapped the original legs off Negasonic Teenage Warhead back onto Nico. That was just some boil and pop, and away you go. For the Deadpool 2 movie Cable, he came with this hard candy shell cape type. Well, it's more like a poncho, I guess, but it's just a solid piece that doesn't really do anything. So as always, it's Rebel 10 Customs to the rescue. We all know her, we all love her, and she is awesome when it comes to putting cloth on action figures. Got some wires running through where I can have it down over the arms, or I can push it back, or wherever I want to put this thing. I do need to dirty it up a bit, but so much better. So much more action figure oriented. And then for Deadpool himself, I've been holding on to this shirt from GPS Lot forever. Back in the day when we thought we wouldn't even get a movie Deadpool figure. Nope, Hasbro finally came through. So of course my first thing was to switch this shirt over to here. Well, my first thing was to get 2 Deadpools and make one like this. But in the movie, the sword sheaths were on his back. On the figure, they are glued in. So I cut those off, put a magnet inside there, embedded a magnet into the back. All I gotta do now is just bloop, it goes right on. I can adjust it and it stays. Now to get that embedded that deep, I did lose this sword. I cut the sword off, just put it in there. Like I said, I have 2 of these. If I need a sword, I can just steal them from the other figure or something. But as is on the shelf, that's staying just like that. They're a good looking crew before the tweaks, but I like to spruce it up a bit. Speaking of GPS Lot on eBay, I had to get a custom cloth. Well, is it cloth? It's some kind of leathery substance. Anyway, I replaced the cape on my Hobgoblin. Look at the tatters and tears. I love it. The neck doesn't quite do what the original cape does, which is kind of a wrap around and then the cape hangs down, but that's all it did. It was a hard plastic shell that just laid there. With this, I can bring it up and have it flying out when I have them on the Goblin Glider or something. I have thought about cutting that collar piece off the original cape, slipping it between the head and here, but we'll see how that goes. As is, the colors match really nice between the plastic orange and the cape orange, and the tatters help blend it in. What else can I say? I just really, really like it. One of my favorite things is surprise packages in the P.O. box. And this is from my buddy Mike Lorenzo Art on Instagram. We've hung out at many a show, and when he said, "Oh, I sent you something," and I said, "What is it?" And he said, "Just wait." It's like a kid at Christmas. This is the World War II Captain America body, but he's taken some Wolverine parts from the new Fox X-Men figures, kind of blended them in. Got the bone claws because, well, this is back in the day. It's Hugh Jackman, so it's okay that it is a little tall. But my favorite thing, and I don't know if he wanted me to show this, is his sculpted kind of mohawk. That's not supposed to be a hair sculpt or anything. That's actually to keep the helmet in the correct position. So I'm not supposed to take that off. I'm not supposed to ruin the illusion, but I just had to because it's awesome. But overall, it's a nice, easy, but very effective custom a Wolverine display or my X-Men display. Gene! Sliding over to the G.I. Joe realm, here is another hooded Cobra Commander head. This is from Metal Inquisitor on eBay, and he did the paint job and the eyes. I did the water slide decal for the Cobra symbol. I didn't realize the red would really fade away because of the transparency of the water slide. It doesn't match the rest of the Cobra symbols here. And neither does the blue, but I've had this head since before Cobra Commander came out. I'll eventually have to do some paint matching and redo the Cobra symbol, but I just love how this lays on here. It's an at-ease feel. Don't get me wrong, I love the hooded Cobra Commander heads that I've gotten in the past with a little flow to them, a little more wrinklage, but this is also good. No matter your preference, there's options out there. Natural laying or dynamic, whatever. And then keeping with G.I. Joe, here's a couple of Snake Eyes heads from Toy Box Custom Store on eBay. I haven't even opened this one up, but I also got this one. It's more of a commando look, and I have it on this body because I eventually plan on doing some kind of Sunbow inspired Snake Eyes. It has a clean look with some straps around it, or, well, no, that's supposed to be on the clean body. This is supposed to be on the baggy pants and stuff. Either way, I'm a long way from finishing this custom, but these heads give me a good start. Oh, there's Toy Box Customs on Instagram too, if you want to look that up. Hey, look, we're unboxing on a play day. Will this one fit the Marvel Legends head ball too? Oh, yep, fits right on there perfectly. Nice, smooth cast and some clean paintwork too. I think the Sunbow look had some purple to it though, didn't it? For the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Plo Koon, again, little kit bashing, just wanted to spruce it up a bit, give it some Clone Wars flavor. These are actually the forearms out of a First Order Stormtrooper, which had the same hinge and swivel setup at the elbows, so all we had to do was heat it up, plug these in, and then take the hands out, put in Plo Koons, and you have that armored look. It is not Clone Trooper armor accurate, but it gets the point across. It's close enough on a shelf, kinda, you know, wherever. The cool thing about this, you can just pop this back off, put the forearms back in, switch it all back, and you have an unaltered Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Plo Koon. Did he actually use this on the cartoon? I think it was just concept art, right? I'm still working my way through Clone Wars, but I was always enamored with the 3 3/4 inch figure having this double wrist gauntlet lightsaber thing. So what I did there was actually get on eBay and order a cheap 3 3/4 inch figure. I know. Snipped off the pieces that made it clamp around a smaller scaled arm, and just, well, I have blue tack in there, but if I like this, I'm going to glue it down. Of course, the lightsaber blades here, being 3 3/4 inch, aren't as long as the 6-inch scaled lightsaber, but I'm okay with that. It's a whole concept thing. Like I said, not super accurate, but the more I mess with this, the more I look at it, the more I think it's going to stay like this. Again, another name you hear in most play days is Casting Cave, because, oh, such good heads. Is that where I'm going with that? Is that how I'm going to leave that in the video? Probably. I think I've actually had this Luke Skywalker head for a long time, but I didn't have a place for it until I finally decided that the original model kit Luke head is just, it's just not there. So again, my new best friend, Blue Tack, I mounted that up on top. I'll have to match the skin tones a bit, but I don't have the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper gear. This will work on my shelf. Tilt the head down just a bit. Yeah, he doesn't have the wet hair look and stuff, but again, that gets the point across. Everybody knows I love the Bandai Star Wars model kit Astromechs because they're perfect size, perfect detail. They fit right into a 1/12 scale collection. And I love them even more when they're customized up to give me even more variation. I have featured custom Astromechs from Greedo737 on Instagram before. His page is always a joy to go through, just looking, wish listing. Oh, I'd like that. The choices I made this time around is R5M2 to go along with my Hoth characters, R3T2 for Mos Eisley dioramas or just characters from that part of Tatooine. R2A5 for that same reason, even though this one was replaced in the special editions by the Ronto walking across. And then finally R5P8, because we got Hondo, he needs his droid, right? And I know in the early days in Clone Wars that this droid had a blaster up on its head, but since we got Hondo from Galaxy's Edge, the version of that droid in that doesn't have the blaster, so it may stay like this, or I may eventually put the blaster on, who knows. But I love that I can just plug these into a display and just break things up. And when you look at it, you think, oh, that's not R2D2. The red dome just pops. Same for the white and the green parts here, and then you're left with R5s. You got to do something with them. Again, like I said, Greedo737 on Instagram. He does commissions. If you want some custom droids, hit them up. And then finally, I got a surprise box from FanPlastic4 on Instagram, and the first thing I pulled out was this Han head. I'm gonna have to get a new Han body for this because all of mine already have custom heads on it, but this is very nice work. Then I got to these two figures in the box, and I thought, oh, now that's crazy. For the Winter Robo head, it was originally on the Range Trooper, and I thought, oh, don't want to share bodies with Gus, so I found this, which helps match with the gray of the beanie. I just love the look of this. I want a jacket like this now, because I already know I look good in it. But the rosiness of the cheeks and the nose and the gray in the beard and just everything here. And that goes double for Robo Solo here, or Han Robo, whatever you want to call it. Again, with the details on the head and the hat, the gray of the beard, the rosiness, and he even caught the darker color back here where I shaved my head. It's kind of weird. I love these, and even better, I can take these off, put them anywhere I want on some Fortnite figures, Star Wars, it may be a little small for Marvel Legends, but yeah, anywhere Robo wants to go, he can now go, no matter what the season. So at the end of the day, a play day is always a great day. There is just something about taking your toys and changing them a bit, making them more unique, making them more how you want them. And that means either breaking out paints, swapping parts, dremeling, carving, gouging, or getting on the internet and finding any of the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of talented people that are out there just making fantastic stuff for action figures. I just love when I get stuff, or I find a website that I haven't seen before. I want one of those too. And then I can look up on the shelf and think, oh, I didn't just buy that at a store. That came from somebody's imagination, somebody's talent, somebody's blood, sweat, and tears, somebody's elbow grease. And for me, that's awesome. I cannot get enough of that. So even if you're not interested in changing up your toys or buying new stuff, just go give them a look. Give them some love. Whether it's a website or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or even eBay. Just have a look and see what's out there because, oh man, once you get the bug for some customs, it never stops. So if you enjoyed the play day as much as I did, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or just in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Fwoosh. Will I put a blaster here or not? I kind of want to, but I kind of don't want to, because it matches the figure I have. But will we someday get a regular Hondo? A Clone Wars Hondo? Who knows? But man, whoever thought I'd be hanging out with movie Deadpool and myself? Kinda.